My favorite people in the world, good evening and welcome. This is Connect, and we're coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa State, Nigeria. My name is Uyai, and you can yours truly. Of course, on Connect, we bring you the conversation on how to navigate your relationships and family life in the 21st century. It's a family life show, and we're delighted to be contributing to the successes that you can record in your relationship. Of course, cutting across whether it's husband, wife, father, children, all kind of that kind of stuff. And you know that I never come to have conversations on my own, and we have several things. First, we have a question of the week, and of course, we always love to take those social media responses. We'll put it up on the screen, and we would absolutely love to get your engagement on our question of the week. Today, what exactly are we talking about? How important is it for individuals to actually nurture and build relationships from a young age? Investing in networking, building quality relationships for the future. This is something we're going to be talking about today. Not necessarily anything about love, but generally, how do you build quality relationships that can, bring you ROIs in the future? This is what we're going to be conversing about today on Connect. Of course, our phone lines will be available for you to call in and make your contributions when we show you the question of the week, bring you our trending relationship except for the week. Of course, there's going to be a lot of things for you to be able to contribute on the show this evening. We'll take a quick pause. When we return, I'll be making my introductions and we're going straight into the conversation of this evening. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Of course, it's Connect this Wednesday evening on Spectrum Television live from Uyo. Of course, it's a family live show, and I have joining me this evening I promised you that I was going to bring back our guests from last week because this seems to be giving us a lot of buzz. And so today we have again joining us Ruth Udo. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today.
Again. And of course, we also have Winning Sam. last week they tried to like muscle themselves on the show. And I was like, oh my God, I love this energy. Let's do this again this week. And that's why they're here. Thank you very much, Winning Sound, for coming.
Great to be here again. Good evening.
Of course, it promises to be a very, very delightful conversation once again. And we're talking about, cultivating quality relationships early on in life. And then one of the key indices is that we also bring in very young persons to talk about the benefits of, creating and nurturing this kind of relationships. But let's go to the very top and take our question of the week. A question of the week, of course, we made available to you right now, and we are looking at what are the benefits of building and maintaining relationships early in life. What are the benefits of building and maintaining relationships early in life? This is our big question for you this evening. Why would you need to build and maintain relationships early? So when we say early, we are saying as being deliberate as sending your child to a good school at the primary level, and they're able to cultivate good relationships at that age, take it on to secondary school and all of that and all that and all that. So before we get into it, let's take some of the responses that we had from social media today. Okay, one person said here, I think this is from David Benson. David Benson is saying, when you are young, it's a privilege to know each other. And with the resource of time, it gives more chances to excuse each other's offenses. So we are young, we're just getting to meet ourselves. We do not have the encumbrance of status in society or monies or anything earned. So we're saying, David is saying it gives you the room to be able to make excuses for each other. Still reading David's responses, it took quite some time to break it down. It says, if you both are on different paths in life, you'd recognize it early and steer off each other's life course. Couldn't be more direct. More direct. I feel like that's an anointed speech. Right. And he also said early friendships give opportunities to have experiences earlier, though in all these intentions are important. Thank you very, very much, David Benson, for your take on these question of the week today. We have another one here by Ben Emmanuel. Ben Emmanuel says, it will make you smarter as experience. It's the best teacher. Now, these are some of the responses that we got as to why do you need to build and maintain relationships early. I know that I would even love to talk about, maybe let's start from the very top. What's the relationship? What are relationships about? So let me start with you, Samuel.
Okay. One of the things that caught my attention about the show, and I even saw the montage, the promo for the show today before the show, and one of the lines that caught me say that every society is premised on the quality of relationships forged by its inhabitants. And that line stands out for me because as human beings, we are created for ourselves, for human connections, right from when we are born, right from even before we are born. From our mother's womb, there's already a relationship between the baby in the womb and the mother. And then you are given birth to, then you have your mother, your father, and then you begin to have siblings. So that's how it continues to go. So at the end of the day, from the beginning of life to the end of life, it's all about relationships. I tell people, you can't do life alone. You can't do life alone. So we are human beings are social beings. We are meant to connect with each other. So relationships are the most basic things about human beings.
Relationships are the most basic things about human beings. I really, really love that. So let's go to Ruth also. Fundamentally, what does relationship mean to you as a person?
Relationship is everything, I would like to say, because a human being, there has to be a connection between you and someone else. Like you said, your mom or whatever. Now, when you grow, you tend to make friends. If you remember your nursery school days, this person might be your friend for 2 minutes or but those memories tend to help us later. So relationship is just connecting with someone, having something to do. So probably it could be on a basic level, it could be a secondary level, which could be relationship like dating and marriage. It could be just good friends that help you get along life, makes life easier, makes life better, or makes life worse, depending on who you choose.
Depending on who you choose, it can actually make life
Worse.
better or worse. Well, at this point, of course, we'll have our phone lines being displayed on the screen, and we would absolutely be able to take your calls and your contributions as to why do you think it is necessary to cultivate and nurture relationships from when you are young, and we are saying as early and as young as possible. So before we even get into the nitty-gritty of that, because that's like the bulk of our conversation this evening, I hope that we can display these particular questions that we saw on social media, and we want to share with you this evening. Two things. Last week, remember we were talking about talking stage, and I saw one of my colleagues, Olive Modi, actually post on her Instagram page. I would call this a satire to all those that are in the talking stage, and I wish that we could display it on a screen, but I would try to read it out for all of us to be a part of it. This is like a real satire for everyone. And she says, let me try to read it poetically. She says, one day you are talking to someone 5 times a day, and you both form a routine from good morning till good night. Then one random day you realize that you barely even talk, and you're wondering what went wrong. The ultimate heartbreak is mourning the potential of what could have been. It did pain well. To all my comrades going in and out of talking stages, wondering if they are destined to work with customer care, the Lord is with you. I understand what you are going through. Don't lose faith. One day you will find the someone for you. Okay, we have it right there on the screen. So one day you are talking to someone 5 times a day, and you both form a routine from good morning till good night. Then one random day you realize that you barely even talk, and you're wondering what went wrong. The ultimate heartbreak is even mourning the potential of what could have been. It did pain well. To all my comrades going in and out of talking stages and wondering if they are destined to work with customer care, let's try and find out. The Lord is with you. I understand what you're going through. Don't lose faith. One day you'll find the someone for you. So I just saw this, and it just reminded me of the great experience that we had last week, speaking about talking stage. And it feels like this whole concept of talking stage, not trying to go back to that conversation, is really important. And it's a really topical thing in the space of relationships. Thank God we dealt with it last week. And if you were not a part of the conversation last week, this is your chance to get on our social media platforms, get to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to get a full episode of our 1-hour conversation on talking stages. Yes, definitely. And then there is this other one that should probably cause a stir this morning. Let me see if I can grab it in a minute. Now, this one is saying, as a lady, you can't settle for a man with 800k as salary in Lagos 1 week, and your man's salary is finished, baby girl. So this is a big issue, and Ruth has to be the first person who responds. Ruth has to be the first person who responds to this for me this evening. Like, someone is saying, as a lady, you can't. Now, me, I'm strong on English words. You can't settle for a man with 800. A man is earning 800,000 naira in Lagos, and this Rachel Edward, I'm calling you out on national TV. She says 1 week, and your man's 1 week, I beg your pardon, and your man's salary is finished. Now, someone came here and responded. He says, now he told the story of his own, marriage and his life. He said, she married me when I was earning 35,000 naira monthly in Lagos. She even agreed to stay with my sister because I couldn't afford to rent a single room. But I let man do. I nearly spoke in tongues, but Allah turned it around for him, So this is also something that I want to engage your minds on with our phone lines this evening. Ruth, 800k, Lagos. You will not go because 1 week you finish it.
I want to start from that person's response, because I like how the person kind of like tried to make a point but sold himself. Now, he pointed out the fact that the girl could not stay with him. The girl had to go stay. His woman had to go stay with his sister because his salary could not afford a place for them. I wouldn't say I'm a material kind of girl. I like material things. I wouldn't say I'm a
Say
material.
it loudly.
I wouldn't say I'm a material kind of girl. But let's be realistic. This is Lagos we're talking about. Lagos is known to be the most busiest, almost the most expensive state to live in. Starting from house rent, they have ridiculous prices in every single thing. Now we're looking at paying your rent, getting foodstuffs, transportation. Now I would say I'm not going to completely side with this girl because like a step too far. She kind of like exaggerated. A week is too small for 800k to finish. I don't know what they're doing, but that 800k cannot just, especially with proper planning. With proper planning, that 800k does not need to finish in a week. So, but you will consider that this person will pay house rent. This person will pay house rent. This person is going to buy foodstuffs. This person is going to cook. And then you probably start popping off kids.
Says popping off kids. No, but she's not even talking about spending 800k in a week.
That's
she's talking about
nonsense.
using 800k to buy a week.
Just 1 week.
It's not for the man that is earning 800,000 because if you use
upkeep,
out of his
house
800k
rent.
and buy you 1 week, the money is finished. So don't consider a man. How many people are earning more than 800k in Lagos? Lagosians, please help us this evening.
I actually saw that tweet during the week, and I was impressed by some of the comments I saw because I saw people coming up to say this is just someone building castles in the air because there are people in that same Lagos. There are people that are earning 50k and they're doing well. They're living well with their family. They are managing well. So it's actually ridiculous to just come out and say something like that. Like it's the emphasis for me that if
You can.
Emphasis on the week. Emphasis right now is the wig. I don't know. It didn't click then. It's clicking now. Why does the wig have to? The wig has no business there. If you're in Lagos and your man is 800,000 naira, 800,000 is a lot of money.
So even though like they say on social media, even though the man has 800k, any 800k. So all you just want is just
like every month or January to December, you're going to be buying a wig a month so that the 800k finishes. Well, I know, like, Samuel is saying there was a lot of lambasting for this person on social media because first of all, until you wanna wear a wig that's expensive, how much are you worth? What are you doing? Can you work to earn and buy the wig for yourself? Why does it have to be a man who spends that much on you to get you just a wig? And I know that recently I also watched a video where I think a vendor, somebody was calling out wig sellers, on internet. More like you bring out the same hair, call it another name, give it another brand, and increase the price, and women will still keep going for it. I don't know who did us.
There's no problem about looking good, going for expensive things, and all the luxury.
No, you should go for
There's
expensive things so you can afford.
Exactly. That's the
When
point
you're on
I'm
the
driving
budget,
at.
it does not make sense. Cut
There's
your
no problem
clothes
with
according to your
doing
size.
that.
Your clothes.
If
You
your
should have
size
enough.
is big,
Yeah.
make sure that what you're cutting through is big. Earn big, spend big. No problem. Not you are going to go and drag an innocent man that is earning say 800k and you're telling me that because you want to buy wig. What kind of wig are you buying?
House rent in Lagos.
House rent in Lagos is actually
That
ridiculous.
800K
So sorry. That's one reason I cannot consider living in Lagos.
Well, these are the issues.
These are the issues.
These are the real issues.
These are the issues.
Well, and I know that there are people who live in Lagos that would not want to live outside that city for a month because they're addicted to the life of Lagos. But these are some of the conversations we've been having this evening. Afternoon lines are available for you. As a lady, would you settle for a man who is earning 800,000 naira in Lagos, or maybe stretch that to Abuja also? I mean, if he buys 1 week for you, the money finishes. I wonder if you're buying wigs every month. But literally, that's one of the questions that we saw that touched us for this week on our trending except for relationships. But let's go to the bedrock of our relationships. So we've already defined what relationships are this evening, and we're talking about building quality relationships early on in life. And I'll start from Ruth. What does that mean for you? First of all, how do you even build these relationships?
I have a best friend of 10 years. We met in secondary school, and in ways that are not pronounced, she has helped shape my life. She has helped me in my choices. She has been there in situations where I needed to. So building relationships as early as possible is crucial. It's important because, like I said, humans basically all we need is connection. We need people. We need to have something to do with someone to move. If not, you're alone, you're depressed, you're sad, and everything. So you need someone. So having that person as early as possible in life, you could start from kids. It could be your friend in secondary school, or it could be someone you met on the road or in the mall or something. You just form this special bond with the person, and you grow. Surpassing, like Benson said, surpassing hurdles and learning from mistakes, and it just shapes your life. I feel like it is very, very, very important. It's one of the things that any young person, probably in secondary right now, or whatever, watching this should like take your friendship seriously, because not only in life, in this Nigeria, is important.
Wow, in a country where people climb ladders by knowing somebody.
Yes, you need to know somebody to climb the ladder. So, not. I'm
But is that like a bedrock, like why you're
I was
making
going to
friends?
clarify that shouldn't be your basis for friendship. That's selfish. If you're doing that, that's just pure selfish. You should be able to connect with the person and be there for the person, just as the person will be there for you. That's the beauty of friendship. That's the beauty of relationship, at least to me.
Okay, so Sammy, when you're talking about building relationships early on, like what are your basics when you say you want to make a new friend? Even as, let's say, do you have a friend as old as 10 years also? How did you get together, and how have you nurtured it through the years?
Okay, one popular speaker, I heard him say some time ago that where you are currently in your life, you don't have someone that you can call at any time and they will answer you. Like you will be in a dire need or in a difficult situation and you can call them. They should have at least 3 people that can be there for you day or night, aside your family. Now, and I started taking that into real cognizance, because relationships are everything. And every day, life presents us with opportunities to create new relationships. Someone like me, I thank God for my life, and though I didn't have a perfect social life growing up, but looking at where I am now, I've been able to, I can say that I have like 6 friends that I know that I've built the relationship with them over time. I can mention name Uncle Victor, Reginald, Ambassador Andrew, Confidence, and I can go on and mention these names, but these are people that we've grown together. We share the same values, and just like I said, life presents us with opportunities. You go to primary school, you have a classmate. You move to the secondary school, you have a classmate. In your neighborhood, you have people that live close to you. So these are opportunities. Every day there are numerous opportunities to become friends with people. But then what happens is that you will not just accumulate everybody will become my friend, but life on its own will begin to process those relationships with time. You begin to get more fond of people, of some people, than you are with the others. Before you know it, the relationship will continue to grow. I think relationship is built over time.
Relationships are built over time.
And that's why it's good to start early. Because think of yourself now, not everyone that was friends with you back in the days 10 years ago that you guys still communicate at that stage now.
I think 2 key things that you have said: relationships are nurtured over time and they grow over time. And then you said one key word is people that have grown with you. There are people like we established, like it was Ruth who established it early on, people who have known you from when you were nothing at all. We are children. We do not have status to bother about. We do not have, I'm a millionaire, you're a normal person, and all of those things. And so growing together is key in establishing relationships early. Okay, so let's hear you. Establishing relationships early. He has established his prognosis.
There are relationships that start early that are very good. It's beautiful, it works, and that's all that's all. They are not giving you everything you should give. You see that you get depressed about them and sad about them, and then in the midst of that, you see it works beautifully. In the midst of that, you get to know someone that's not even known you for like up to 2 years, but just that person, like the important person in your life, the important friend, like you would take that person over people you've known for 20 years or for 10 years. I'm in that situation where I met someone in Uimi. Like, if I want to please Uimi and people that I have met past in my life, she takes precedence because of her connection to me right now, what she has influenced, how we approach. You know how they say that enemies to friends. Where was enemy? So there was no way I could see that girl and like her. But then we grew. Not over the span of 10 years or 11 years or 15, but within like a year or two, you get to know so much about that person. Now, when it comes to choosing friends, first thing I look at is that if I'm smart, if I'm funny, I feel like you should match that energy, or you should be higher than me, because you, as friends, you need someone you need to learn something from. Let me use a basic example. I can't cook and you can cook. We can be friends, so you can teach me. We can be friends, you can teach me. I can probably teach you something, but we know that it's all about growing together, evolving together,
rubbing off on each other.
Exactly, all on good measures. Don't rub off bad things on people.
Don't rub off bad things on people. Of course, this morning this evening it's a relationship clinic, and we're looking at building and nurturing quality relationships early. What's your take? How has it worked for you, networking, getting to know people, and in different seasons of your life? How has this relationship that you have grown worked for you? TD Jakes said something. He said, people are in your life for a reason, they're in your life for a season, and others are in your life for a lifetime. You need to be able to know where everybody in your life is. Is this person here? What reason is this person here? And even if a person is here for a reason, a season, or for a lifetime, there is a reason why everybody is in your life. Are we careful to find that out? That's something that is very, very important. And then we've also continued to see us being taught that don't hold on onto any relationship too tight. If the season for that relationship and that person is past, please let the person go. That's something that Bishop T.D. Jakes established.
There's wisdom for relationships. I'll hear people say, I don't need anybody, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm like, they play. You will learn.
The tree that wants to stand alone and turn into a forest.
I don't need anybody, I just do anything on my own. I don't even want to please anybody. But in the real sense of it, we are meant to live for people. We are meant to live for people. Our life, you should have people that you are pouring out your life, that everything you are doing it for them. The decisions you are taking.
A good example would be a father and a daughter relationship. You know that the father really wants everything for his daughter. He strives to work for her. He strives to provide for her. Now, he lives his life for her. You understand? I've seen my dad do things like, when I grow up, I need to do these things that this man is doing. When I'm in a position where I have to do the same things to my sister, and I come to see that it's all beautiful because I have a good relationship with my sister. I will want to do anything for her. If there's an emergency, I'm there. I see things that our parents do, and I realize that even though at some point we regarded it to be the mommy is too pressing or that is too pressing, they were actually good decisions, and building that relationship is very vital. That's like a very good example for living for someone. It does not mean that you should put your hands.
And then another thing is, most times when we are talking about building relationships, these relationships early, people think that because I want someone that can help me in the future. So we are looking up. I need to connect with someone that is here, someone is in that is in that place, so that tomorrow I don't know what will come up tomorrow, someone will help me. But that's actually not the sense of it. That's why we need to start early. People that grow with you when you were nothing, you guys were nothing. You don't know where the person will be tomorrow. The major helps, the major breakthroughs I've had in my life today as a result of relationships. The relationships that have been in my life. I've gotten things. I think I've made more advancements through relationships than with my own struggles. Getting jobs, getting opportunities. It's all about relationships. Things that I didn't even know was happening. Someone just called me, Samuel, you can do this. I know you are fit for this. And that's how it's just. Relationships are, if you don't have money,
relationship is a currency.
Relationship is a currency.
Relationship is definitely a currency. I feel like Ruth has something on her nose she wants to say. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to point out that he said something about people connecting with other people for just purely because of networking or to climb higher. I want to point out that is entirely not wrong. That's entirely not wrong because there are people you meet. There are people you meet over time. The people you meet and you connect with them for basically for jobs or opportunities, but you do not just let it rest at that level. You go further to being interested in their well-being, being interested in what they do, being interested to how they approach life. Now, you're not just there for the networking when you see opportunities coming, when you see jobs coming. You're also there to care about this person, help this person grow in other aspects. So it's not like it's entirely wrong to connect with someone just for job opportunities, because that is what you need in this Nigeria like this. You need somebody else to climb with that. But I'm not saying just, what I'm trying to say, don't just leave it at that. Go further, get to know this person, get to have more interest in this person, get to wanting this person to grow higher, because if the person grow higher, you tend to benefit at some point, right?
I mean, that should be like part of understanding the reason why a person is in your life, because oftentimes there is this quote I read somewhere that it says your colleagues are not your friends. Do you understand? When you get to the working environment you are working, we have a cordial, respectful relationship, but they're not necessarily your friends, so you don't see them that way.
I was talking to someone on this along these lines earlier today, because there are relationship ethics for every environment.
Exactly.
There are workplace relationships. There are fake relationships in your church, in your there are family relationships. These are different, and the way you handle these different relationships, you use different.
You shouldn't relevant to each other.
Then there are other relationships that are romantic relationships. I said that every relationship should be a love relationship, but not every relationship should be a romantic relationship.
That's nice. That's nice. I'll give that to you, Sam. I'll give that just
every relationship should be a love relationship, but not a romantic relationship, especially when it has to deal with the opposite sexes. Because what is love? Love is giving. Love is putting yourself out for the interest and benefit of the other person. So when we realize this, you begin to now handle your relationships at the work. You know, okay, this is a work environment. What do I need to bring to the table here? I need to bring support. Team spirit. I need to bring positive energy. Let me be that person that at the workplace, everyone wants to work with me. Let me not be that bad egg. Let me not be that bad energy kind of person that everyone avoids me. So with that mindset, you come into the workplace and then you create that atmosphere around you. Imagine a workplace where everyone, they don't just work as just colleagues, or there is a kind of synergy and team spirit. Everyone is working together. It will boost productivity and efficiency. Now that's for workplace relationship. And also you need to have the wisdom and the maturity to be able to separate emotions from relationships and know how to handle. Someone was actually telling me this afternoon that at her workplace, she had an altercation with one of her colleagues, and then she yelled at her, and then she started feeling bad. These are things that should not come in play. These are things that should be managed, because human beings have problems. Even no matter how good you think you are, you will still have problems. But having the wisdom to manage these relationships and nip things in the bud and not allow them escalate, that is where the wisdom is.
I like the separation that Samuel has done this evening, understanding what kind of relationship, where you have found yourself, and the ethics of these different relationships. Because just like he has established, the ethics for a romantic relationship is different from the ethics for a filial relationship, where it's just between friends. There are boundaries. There are places you don't cross. Someone recently said to me that with families, there are no boundaries, only limits. You don't set boundaries for family. You only have limits as to what can be done, where cannot be reached. You don't have boundaries for family. So, so these are some of the things that we must know as persons. So, of course, still looking at some of these things this evening. I'm going to ask, share one experience where a relationship that you have built over time actually benefited you. I feel like I have tons.
Experience.
Tons.
That situation where I'm trying to look for the much better one or the much I'm just going to come with the ones that come to mind. It was my IT period, and I was looking for a place. So internet.
Intern.
And I had walked around. See, I had gone to every corner, I had gone to every situation, every place that I could go to. I thought of everywhere, and I didn't have any place to go actually. So I called this friend of not even up to a year, just very close. We're close, but we're not up to like a year of friendship or something. And then he goes, "Oh, you should have called me sooner. I know someone, and I know someone who got me a place." Now, it might seem it's a small thing or something, but if I did not get a place, I'd probably ended up carrying over that course or just failing that thing completely. So from being able to like call this person, say I'm in need of this, and the person is you should have called me sooner. I would have done it earlier. You don't even need to waste time. And I was just in awe. Like when I got it, I was like, okay, I started.
It could have been this easier.
Yes, I could have just done these things instead of trying to like struggle on my own and stuff. There are people around you that are there to do things for you. You just need to ask sometimes, because I realize that people do have difficulty asking. Carry your phone when it's too hard. Carry your phone. Call your friend. I do that when life is too tough. I carry my phone and I call my friend. And I cry for the first 10 minutes before actually telling her what's wrong, and then she tells me what to do. You should cry too.
You should cry too. I like that. I think one of the key factors that you have brought to the table is he who asks receives, he who knocks, the door gets open, who seeks actually finds. And that's something that is missing out in our relationships. Sometimes we are here, but the next person that you call your friend doesn't really know what you're going through.
Yes.
They don't know how to help you. Like, even, I was telling someone that, like, I personally feel like I'm in a season of my life where I cannot necessarily bear up myself spiritually as much as I would love to. So, and I was telling someone that I have, like, quote unquote, delegated people to help me bear me up spiritually in this season so that I can sleep at night. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to sleep at night and still come to Spectrum Television in the morning to do my work as early as I have to do it. Now, if I have to keep up with all of the necessary night routines the way I ought to, it will impact on my job. So in that moment, I call Sister A, call Sister B, call Brother A and Brother B. I say there is a need on the table. We need to share the burden, and I feel that that's what building quality relationships is about. Yes. When you are not looking, the next person is covering you. And the thing is, seasons turn in life. You will need people, and like I was saying, I have like a myriad of like examples.
I have tons of experiences
where friendships, I have two friends that I have had for 20 years.
20?
Yes, I have two friends that I've had for 20 years, and then all the other set of my friends are like 15 years back from my university days, and we are still very close. Like you said, those are people that if I am caught in a crossroad, I know, like one of my friends would say, I know the advice I can give. I know what Melody can say.
Yes.
I know who would give me. There is a friend that you would call that may not have 200,000 to give you, but has the human capital for you to navigate that situation.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. In terms of relationships and currencies, human beings are capitals. Relationships are capitals. I may not have the money to give you. I was telling someone recently, I may not have the money, but see my social capital, you can't joke with it.
Exactly.
Very, very big on social
I have a very, very healthy social capital. My bank account looks nothing like my life, right? But I have a social capital that if I want to achieve something, and you have that kind of social capital because of the investments that you have made.
That is the point. Yes, you have to make investments. That's why when you get into any relationship with anyone, look at what am I going to be giving. Most times people are like, how will this person benefit me? You want to give. There's nothing that you give. Just like the scriptures say, give and it will be given to you. You cannot withdraw from where you have not deposited. So
relationship bank.
So
all I think about is my bank account right now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about money now.
Yeah, I'm picking money.
When you meet people, you are asking yourself, what am I depositing in this person's life? It could be being there for. It could even be little things. Like earlier this year, my younger siblings, they got admission. 3 of them actually at the same time at different institutions in the state of the economy. You could imagine how that was. Well, at some point, I began to now think, how is this going to be? How is this going to work out? I remember that I have people, that I have lecturers, I have professors, and some of these people that I had good relationship with. I was like a boy to them, So in one of these institutions, I just placed a call. Say, sir, my sister got admission here. She needs help. She needs accommodation. She needs. At just that call alone settled a whole lot. Just that call alone settled a whole lot. And beyond that, I've been in their financial needs. That there was some time I needed to pay rent and I didn't have nothing. My landlord was already threatening fire and
brimstones.
I just texted I call them my 5 men of valor. My 5 men of valor, I just texted them. It didn't take up to minutes. Like, he sent a very huge sum that it would be hard for someone to just part. And he also just gave me a long period of time for me to be able to pay back. So these are if you don't have money, have relationships. And when you meet people, when you are in relationship with people, give. It's just like you are depositing every opportunity you find, no matter how little. Just keep depositing. One day it will be.
We'll come back. The conversation is really good. We need to take a quick pause and then we'll get back into this conversation. One thing you must know is that relationships are, their currencies, and it would help you flow through life. How are you building, investing, and nurturing in these different relationships? A lot to talk about. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, it will be the concluding conversation on Connect this evening. Stay with us. Welcome back. Of course, it's still Connect on Spectrum Television, your family live show. We take the time to talk about relationships, how you can navigate your relationship in the 21st century. Earlier today, I was reading something that said, I think it was Leke Alda that wrote the fact that relationships and the dynamics of marriage has changed in the 21st century because of the introduction of technology and several other things. He said back in the day, it was a question of different other things, but now it's who sent you that text message, who DM'd you, and all of that, and that is what is causing problems in relationships. How are you navigating and getting the wisdom necessary for your relationships? This evening, we have been talking about building and nurturing quality relationships early on in your life. How would you benefit from those relationships in the long run? Well, of course, I'm speaking with Ruth Udor and Winning Sam this evening, and it's been such a great conversation. For you to get a full scoop, if you're just joining us, you need to be following us across all social media platforms, all of which you can find at spectrumtvlive.ng. Well, let's get into, let's try to land this plane that has been flying quite a lot for like the last hour. And Ruth was saying something when we were, off air. And we're talking about the fact that there is a quality of life that says, when you go there, tell them I sent you.
Yes.
The power that comes with the power that comes with
not just
the power that
power.
comes with. Tell them I sent you.
It's like adrenaline. It's like especially when it works, you go like, okay, let's say Mr. Amos saying, oh, Mr. Amos, come, you're welcome, you sit down, and you feel so important, and then you know that this relationship that you built with Mr. Amos was not easy. You invested, and this is your returns. You're getting the favors, you're getting the blessings that comes with knowing Mr. Amos. So you're going and say, who sent you? You say, this is the one. Just like when the Lord said, okay, I don't know if I should go to that part, but that the thrill, that excitement that comes with it is like, it's superb. I don't know what surpasses that. Sorry, I don't know what surpasses that excitement that comes with actually getting something done through someone who sent you, and not just any person, someone that you have built a relationship with, basically.
A person of repute and a person of quality.
Yes.
And I think that, in terms of building quality relationships, it starts with who you are as an individual. Yeah. And we've established that if you're not willing to make the sacrifices and the investment. I remember one time my younger sister was in a season of her life, and I had to point out to her that different people in your life are going to give you different things. Please, and let's not always cut down relationships to naira and kobo. It is not about naira and kobo. There is spiritual backing and covering and partnership. There is emotional presence and covering. I might not be the one who can give you that spiritual covering, but I'm that ear. I could be that ear that listens to you every time you need someone to speak to. You just need to be able to identify who is what in your relationship circle.
I heard Pastor Femi Lazarus. I was listening to one of the sermons, and he said that there was this time he was depressed and he was thinking of who to call. He has this one friend, he calls this one, this guy will be too serious. He has this one probably money related. But you remember there's this one friend he can go and fight with in his house, and then he will uplift him. And he places it because there are people in your life for different things. That's one thing you need to acknowledge, that they are there for different things. So you build a relationship knowing what this person is good for. You have someone that is good at giving you great advices at work. You know that, okay, this is this person for it. You have this person that's financial need. The person is ready to support you. Not something you have to force on the person, of course. The person is always ready to support you financially. The person will tell you, oh, I don't know how else to help you except from finances. Then you have the one for spiritual backing. When it looks like trials and tribulations want to bring you down, you place a call, and I had someone like that. I was so sick. I was having constant issues for like 2 weeks. I was having nightmares. So at some point I was so exhausted. My parents were not working and I was just there. She came to visit me. She spent the night. So I had the nightmare again. I woke up and I was like, she's like, what is it? What's your problem? Why are you shouting? Why are you screaming? I told her that I've been having these nightmares for 2 weeks. I just can't. I don't know what to do again. And she's like, you're having nightmares for 2 weeks. You can't sleep. She said, what gave that? Where is the audacity coming from? I'm joking. Her name is Yubi Tony. Like she prayed for me. I didn't have nightmares again. From that night, like you just know friends for different things. They have this one's for finances, this one's for advice, this one's for spiritual backing.
Who brings what energy to the mix?
And try to match them. Try to be there for what they need you to
and
be there.
And don't try to get from one person what you should get from
everything.
another.
What you should
That's
get
where
from
the
another.
wisdom
And you're not
comes
even investing.
That's where the wisdom comes in.
Now
You
show
place
you
the cards well and say this person is for this person is for this. So
and
you don't
also be there for them. As you are categorizing them, know that you also need
I
to
think
be there
that's
for
even
this person.
the basic. That's even the basic. I think everyone should make that commitment to say, I want to be that person. I want to be that person.
You have
Let me not be the one that relationship would benefit. Let me be the one that people would benefit from having me in their lives. That is where it begins.
If possible, Rachel could have somebody that she could get weeks from. Like, I want you to be
Right.
So
instead of stressing 800k man, you have this friend that I need weeks. It gives you weeks of life.
That subsidized rate.
Build that relationship.
Build that relationship. So I'm going to ask one more round of questions before we go. Have you had in your life a moment where you fell short in a situation, you fell short in a need just because you did not build a particular relationship? Like there is this door that if you had opened and maintained, it would have led you to that destination, but you got there in that season and you realized this relationship would have helped me, but I did not bloom it. Have you had that experience?
Yeah. I and that was what informed my change of narrative when it comes to relationships. When I started working after school, in fact, the first place I worked, the way I left there, they say when you are leaving a place, don't
uproot the door.
Don't bang the door. So because of a whole lot happened actually, but that is not an excuse. No matter what happens, you should find the best way to live on a good note. So I did not live on a good note. I left. So
Left on the ground note.
I left on a graduate, and then something happened later on. I needed something, and my boss then I was working with, that I left because of I already closed that door. I couldn't even access it again. And this is something that if I had built that relationship or left well, it would have been better. And then that made me to now change my narrative. That even the next place I worked, even when I was leaving, up to today, they still call me, the boss still calls me, the boss still speaks with me because of how I left. So these are the issues when you're in relationships. Make the best out of them. And like Maroon 5 sang this was memories. People should, when people think about you, when people remember you, what comes to their mind?
Even the Bible says that the memory of the righteous is blessed. Like when they think about it, it should be something that gives a good
Not when
feeling.
people think about it, say, that one.
That's true.
That one. When people, these are the things people should. These are the real skills that people should really develop in this time and age. Now that the days are evil, we should develop these skills so that not when people think of you, when your name is mentioned in places that matter. Your name can be mentioned, and then someone can say no.
Just
you
shut
cannot
it down.
Because of this.
this.
So building relationships are a skill set that everybody needs to establish. So I'm also thinking, Ruth, is there a way that this also affects our professional and our career lives, our career path, like building quality relationships along your career path? For instance, I am in the media. How do you build a good relationship that you need a resource person from another part, and you can place a call and say, oh, this person has been good to me in the professional path, and so how can we do those kinds of investments and build on it?
Basically, how that will majorly influence you will be through referral. Let's say you're working in a new place, and then they said, who can vouch for you? And then you, like you said, he hit the door, you operated the door in this last workplace. Imagine you did that. There's nobody to refer you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person. But even though you're a good person, you need testimonies from people to take you to places. Now, when you do not have that, you are going to stay there because nobody is going to. You need evidence. Everybody needs to see evidence. If you don't have the evidence, it's as useless. So you maintain good relationships. If it's in your workplace, see, there's this beauty that comes to being a go-to person for people. People just know you're that efficient. You're just that good. That if they need something, you're ready to help. If they need help, you're just ready to offer. You're ready to be there for that person, whatever situation. You're building a good reputation. That even though you leave that establishment, not only will you be missed, you'll be able to have access to those people, and it's going to help you wherever you're going next, because you need humans at every step of the way.
One name, one call, one contact could be all you need to open the very next door that you need. And like we've said, we can't reduce relationships to naira and kobo. It doesn't always have to be about money. Find how you can contribute to the lives of your friends, your family members, your loved ones. Ruth said something that I would love to end the show on this evening. She says, no matter how good you are as a person, you would always need a testimonial. And my mother said, my late grandfather used to say, the way you live your life every day, you are writing your testimonial. When they print it for you, would you like what is written on the slate of your life? It's been great conversation this evening, of course, talking relationships and how to build quality relationships early on, whether you were saying a faith-based relationship, career, platonic relationships, how you should build and establish and groom them for the long term. That's been our conversation this evening. Thank you very much, Ruth Udoh, for coming. It's been 2 weeks of pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Winning Sound, for winning all through and giving us.
And I won.
Today they did not fight. Thank you so much. It's been such a great conversation, and I do hope that you learned one or two and you have made a decision to be a better friend, a better partner, a better employee, a better employer. We all need someone to write our testimonials. It's been Connect this evening on Spectrum Television, our family live show. Thank you for being a part of this. Until we return again to your screens next week, Wednesday, my name is Uyai, and you can have a splendid night rest. Good night, Nigeria.